So, so what happened there? Because I read you say before, and I was like, I read it, and I was like, I can relate to this just based on my time in cable. You were at the top of your game. You said you were peaking. You were getting movie deals offered to you. You were killing it on SNL, but that you felt it was toxic. That it was your time there. You felt was toxic. And looking around, I don't know if it was those people you mentioned, but people in that industry seemed awful and not like people you wanted to be like.
Well, it turned into, again, going back to the way I grew up, with strong morals, strong family values, do the right thing, do the right thing. And we're in an industry where it's like, no, cheat, kill, steal, lie to get to the top, to get the highest rating, to be the biggest star, and do that to stay on the mountain. And it's a very disturbing mentality. And it exists, it's real. And it's not just in Hollywood, it's every big money situation, a big star situation. I mean, I bring it down to, I joke and I say, you know, when I worked at Sears, Long Island, you remember I'd work in paint department with this other person, and then the other person got upgraded to a red badge. You're like, whoa, what's a red badge? Well, now I have the power to void things, and you need me to override things. And then that person with the little red badge would now they're on a power trip. And you're like, dude, we hung out. What are you talking about? You're still the same meathead. And now you're taking advantage because you got a red badge. So imagine that. So I would see things behind the curtain that the public had no clue about. And I was shocked that the general public does not have any clue of how certain things go. Now, people's business is people's business, but what would drive me nuts is like, you know, People Magazine, couple of the year. And you're like, they're not a couple. He doesn't even like women. What a sham. This one, it's just, you would see things. Certain people would come in and it was disturbing. And if it was my brother or a friend of mine with some of the people, I'd go, is there something wrong with you? Like, there's something really disturbing wrong with you. But no one would say anything because, oh, well, you know, this one's a star. This one's on the, you know, a big TV show at ABC. And it's, and even Holly, you know, when SNL, what just in power and in that world of vanity, you will sell yourself. You will sell your soul. You will do anything to get to the top. And it happens like that. People go, wow, how can that happen? I remember meeting some of the biggest people that I looked up to in my life. And what you don't imagine, you know, you imagine being a little kid thinking about, but when they're in front of you, and they're like, hey, man, you want to, and you're going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm hanging out with so-and-so. And they go, hey, man, you have a little bit of this, and you like doing this and this and this. I mean, this is the way I roll. And you're like, wow, yeah, ultimately, yes, let me cheat my wife and do drugs that I've never did and do, wow, you're into that. Okay, yeah, what? That's how fast it happens. And I remember, I give credit to my wife. Towards the end of the SNL, I just filmed Half Baked, and you know, I'm getting movie offers and blah blah blah. And the last year of SNL was really rough for me. The people that supported me left, and the new people were not big fans. That's just the way business goes. And I look back on it, but they really went out of their way to make what I felt make life miserable. And yeah, I started getting really, and my wife said this to me, and I'll never forget. She goes, you know, all you do is come home, you complain, You're smoking weed all the time to numb yourself. Why are you there? Why don't you quit? I went, are you seriously? Is there something wrong with you? You don't quit. Like, seriously, is there something wrong with you? She's like, no, is there something wrong with you? You said you would never stay at a job that sucked the life out of you. You would never do it. No money in the world can do that. And that's it. You say that and you feel it, but you're like, well, I'm sounding live. I got a movie coming out, another movie deal. You don't understand. I'm this close, man. But then I would see, I remember when Farley came on to host. And he was there that week, and long story short, they were like, listen, he's don't. He's going to ask you to go out. We've got a serious situation with him. There's a lot of problems. He was walking around with a 24-hour nurse. Oh. Chris Rock was walking around the hallways, and I said, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm here just in case. And I'm not blaming anyone, but I could not believe that not one human being, if that was my sibling, if that was my best friend, I'd go, hey man, I don't care what movie you're promoting. I don't care how much your life is in danger, bro. Your life is in danger. And was it for the ratings? Was it to promote something? And he clearly had drug issues, which we all saw that were very serious. And I'll never forget the phone call I got from him on a Thursday night. I think it was a Wednesday night after the table read. And I had a friend over there, and my wife answered the phone, and she goes, Jim, it's Chris Farley. I went, how do you get my number? She goes, I don't know. And I pick up the phone. Now here's a guy whose soul is beautiful, but vanity's just eating him alive, and making $10 million now a picture. $10 million. Wow. Anyone would die to have that. And he asked me, Jim, am I funny? I went, what? He goes, am I funny, or am I just the stupid fat guy? I can't get girls. And it was 2 months later when he was gone. But I remember going, no one cares about your life. They just care about the rating, and we're just a product.
Yes.
We're a product. Doesn't matter how many people die. How many people die from this product that's new by this line? Put this in your. This is not like sugar. It doesn't, a couple of people have cancer. Don't worry about it. But we made trillions of dollars, and, the lawyers will take care of the people. And this drug is new. Well, a couple of people died, but this $1 billion, shut them up. Vanity, power, money, the love of it is soulless. And it will kill you. Yeah. And it will disregard you. And you better have a moral grounding before it all comes. And I knew this environment was going to destroy me. And my wife, God bless her soul, at the end of the day, she was right. And I took destiny in my own hands. And we went through a lot of different struggles. I went through a situation where someone clearly took something of mine and made $10 to $20 million.
An idea, you mean?
My hand to God on my kids' lives. And I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to get them. And I'm going to get them. And my wife, again, she was like, Jim, let them have it. What are you? Is there something wrong with you? She went, Jim, you left because you wanted to be with your children. You're working at a radio station because you want to be home every day to watch your children. You just brought your parents from Florida. You wanted to be with your parents to watch them be elderly. Do you want that? That is always going to be there. It's always going to be there, Jim. Let them have it, because if they need to steal it, if they need to lie about it, it will destroy them eventually. And I'll tell you what, I will never forget years later watching certain individuals and their life deteriorate, and after taking and making big fame and money and this and that, and watching the crown come off, and the amazing grace of it all was to see them years later come up to me and go, and not knowing I knew like what you were about years ago and all that money. And they said, I'll never forget this. They said, hey man, I don't know what you're doing here, but I wanted to tell you, I really admire the path you took in life. I wish I did that, because I didn't get to see my parents die, and I was chasing stars, and and your kids, and I really admire what you do. And sometimes life is decisions, and it's not hard. It's not easy to stick to your morals.
Yes.
It's not easy to always do the right thing, because the wrong thing is so tempting, sometimes worth so much more money.
And so reinforced by society.
So yeah.